I'm Chef Nick, and today we're going to be rediscovering culture of the beautiful Turks and Caicos Islands through food. What we have for you today is one of the world's most popular crustaceans. There are 60 different species of this crustacean in the world, but none can compare to what's found in the Turks and Caicos Islands and throughout the Caribbean. And guess what? It's seasonal here, so that makes it even more special. August 31st is considered the opening of lobster season here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and ending on March 31st, where the demand for this popular bad boy here, yes, the spiny lobster, is at an all-time high. Take a look at it. Isn't she lovely? So today, we're going to be using this spiny lobster to cook a very popular dish here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, actually two popular dishes, but we're going to get into one of the most popular ones, which is the hash lobster. Yes, hash lobster is a dish that is paired with almost everything straight across the board, from peas and rice, cornmeal grits, buttery garlic white rice, you name it. This dish came about way before I was born and way probably before my mom was born. Quick, simple, and easy, where lobster meat is then boiled, threaded beautifully like this. Take a look at this, how threaded and nice this came about. Now, there are cheat ways to this. Some chefs cut it up, chop it up, do it fine, but the authentic hash lobster, minced lobster dish is threaded lobster. And we did just that, where lobster meat is then boiled, then picked finely. This is a time-consuming practice until you get a result like this. Then it is combined with some nice onions, bell peppers, thyme, garlic. Some people use tomato paste, even a little ketchup. Put into a pot, hash until it gets a nice texture and all those herbs and spices are incorporated into it until you get a beautiful color and present it well alongside either peas and rice, cornmeal grits, anything, you name it. So we're going to be taking you into the preparation stage, straight into the pot, and show you how it's going to be presented beautifully on a plate. Let's get into it. Okay, what I'm going to be doing right now is adding some vegetable oil into our pot. I already had my pot preheated, and I have an array of vegetables here that I'm going to start with here first. I'm going to be adding a little bit of diced celery into there. I'm going to be adding some onions. I'm going to be adding some green bell pepper. I'm going to be adding a little bit of red bell pepper to get some nice color going inside there. Let me stir in my pot just a little bit. If we had smell-o-vision, you would love the aroma that's pumping from this right now. Okay, what we're also going to be doing is adding a little bit of diced garlic to this. Thyme is a very special herb here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. We use it in almost everything. And the smell of that with that hot grease. Smell-o-vision coming to you very soon. Look at this. Beautiful. We're gonna allow this to saute for a bit, not burn, because we have a few more herbs and spices to add in here, but we don't want them to burn before we get the lobster in, okay? Did you see Uncle Lou when he fall in the well? Oh, oh, Uncle Lou when he fall in the well. Okay, that's at a perfect color. Right now, we're gonna add some tomato paste in the well. Now, there's a little bit of argument between this because some people like to use tomato paste and some like to use ketchup. The old-fashioned way in preparing hash lobster is always with tomato paste. The new school cooks, yes, they like a little bit of ketchup because it has a bit of sweetness to it. But I'm going to be giving you the best of both worlds with this dish. So I'm going to add in a little bit of tomato paste to this to give it some coloring, that nice, beautiful red color that we're going to be seeing at the end. And I'm going to add in some ketchup to get a little bit of sweetness in there. While I stir this, adding in the star of the show, the threaded lobster. Look at that as it falls in the well, just like that. Yes, beautifully. Okay, we're achieving a beautiful color. We're allowing flavors to build from those herbs and spices. Now, reminder, With hash lobster, you don't have to add any liquids, any stock. Lobster has a lot of water inside it already, so while this is hashing, the water content from the lobster is sweating out in the pot, and you'll know when it's done because you would have achieved that real dry texture, but juicy at the same time at the end, yeah? Okay, so while this is now simmering, I am going to add in a little bit of tomatoes. Now here's the thing, guys. There's no rules to cooking. Not because I have this spread of herbs and spices here means that you must have it. If you don't like onions, you don't have to use it. If you don't like tomatoes, you don't have to incorporate it in your dish either. Use what you like. Build the flavors that you're trying to achieve. But you can't forget that thyme and garlic because it's a Caribbean thing and it adds unique flavor to Caribbean dishes. And there wouldn't have been a hash lobster without that nice thyme and garlic. Okay, now let's add in some Scotch bonnet pepper, yeah? I finely diced this to add a little spice into our dish. You can add as you go, you can spice your pot to your liking. And of course, we have to add in a little bit of citrus, lime, just to give it that citrus flavor, yeah? All right, now we're gonna season our pot with a little bit of black pepper. We're gonna add in some kosher salt and go into a stir. Remember guys, with hash lobster, you have to continuously stir this because you're trying to achieve that color from the bottom of the pot. As you rake, the tomato paste or the ketchup will stick to the bottom of the pot, and then you will just wind your lobster on in it until you achieve that color, yeah? Wow, we have achieved a beautiful color on this. Take a look at this and then we'll get straight into plating. Okay, we're gonna be feeding some very important people today, and like everyone knows, people eat with their eyes first. So what we're gonna be using is the tail that the lobster came from, and we're gonna be presenting this beautifully inside here. So let me take you straight into that. This gives you some presentation techniques that you can use in the confinement of your own home. Look at that. Look at that. I fall in love with food when I'm plating, guys, so excuse me. A little French nick comes out. Oui, oui. Here we have one of the most popular lobster dishes here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, hash lobster. Look at this. Isn't she lovely? Yes, I know. Alrighty then, let's get straight into a 1, 2, 3, 4 easy step dish called cracked lobster. Now, cracked lobster is a simple battered and fried dish using the raw lobster, whether you cut it up in nugget shapes, strip shapes, or you use a unique twist like I have done here, leaving it on the shell, dipping it in the egg wash, simple all-purpose flour, then fried in some extra virgin olive oil or some vegetable oil or any oil of your choice, yes? So let's get straight into it. What I'm going to do is take this lobster that I have well presented on the shell. I'm going to dip it into some egg wash just like that there, so then I'm gonna dive it into some all-purpose flour, just like this. It's okay to get your hands dirty, because this is a dirty making dish. You get your flour presented on here just like that. Look at there. You dust that off. Now I see some lazy people who don't want to get their hands dirty. They put this in a paper bag or a Ziploc bag and shake it up, and then you get that nice flour to cover all of the meat. But today we're getting down and dirty. We're being raw with it, and we're gonna drop this in some nice oil just like that there. So, turn that down. We're gonna continue that process with another one. Wanna dip this in some egg wash. Dive this up and down inside some nice all-purpose flour just like that. Look at that, look at that. Yes, Mary Poppins, I want you to pop. When you hear that popping and frying like that, you're achieving what your aim is. We're gonna rest this right inside there like that there, so. Our pot only yay big, so it only can hold that much of lobster. So we're gonna allow that to fry for about 8 to 10 minutes until we get a nice golden brown crust on it, and I'll show you how it looks at the end. Okay guys, our cracked lobster has a beautiful golden color on it. We're going to be making a unique sauce to complement that very well. Now I've seen this sauce made a few different ways. Some people make it with mayonnaise and ketchup. Some people makes it with mayonnaise and barbecue sauce. Some people combine all those three together. They call it a cocktail sauce. Some people call it a flamingo sauce. But it's a unique sauce that complements conch fritters, cracked conch, and almost anything fried here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. I call it our flamingo sauce because of its beautiful bright pink color. So let's go straight into making this, where we're going to be adding in some mayonnaise in a mixing bowl, just like that there. So we're going to be adding in some ketchup into this bowl as well, just a little bit. We're going to be adding in some barbecue sauce for some nice smoky flavor, just like that. Okay, we have to add in some sugar for some sweetness. So I go with brown sugar, some people use white. Again, there's no rules to cooking. You use ingredients that you find most appealing to your taste, yeah? So let's just squeeze in some lime juice to get that nice citrus flavor in there. Okay, we're gonna be adding in some good old Tabasco hot sauce for a little kick. We're gonna whisk these ingredients together. Look at the color transform into a nice pink color. It's almost like magic. Oh, look at that. Now, if you want your sauce a little bit sweet or have a more citrus taste to it, or even a little bit more spicier, you can add in these additional ingredients based on your acquired taste, yeah? Okay guys, we have rediscovered the culture of the Turks and Caicos Islands here today by showing you how to prepare two of the very popular spiny lobster dishes here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Look at this. Isn't she lovely? Oh, I can't wait to dig in. Thank you guys for having me on this episode of Rediscovery of the Turks and Caicos, beautiful by nature, brought to you by the Turks and Caicos Tourist Board. Thank you.
Chef Wilkie here of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Welcome to Island Delicacies and rediscovering the Turks and Caicos. Today I'm going to be plating up some grilled snapper, peas and rice, and coleslaw. Very local dish.